Hello friends and assalamu alaikum. Friends, you are going to know the true story of a man who was lost in the Pacific Ocean on his small boat. And that not just for 10 or 15 days, but for 438 days. Yes, this man accidentally set a world record that no one wants to break. The world record for the longest time spent alone at sea was set by a man named Jose Sulder Alringa, who spent 438 days at sea and that too in a small 7 feet boat. But the question is how he survived alone in the terrible sea for the last 14 months. But before that, we will know why he went into the sea. It was 2012 when a man named Jose Sulder Alvarenga lived in a small village on the Costa Azul in Mexico, who was 36 years old at that time, and he also used to be an expert fisherman too. On November 17, 2012, Jose went fishing with a friend in his small boat. They planned to spend only 30 hours at sea. The 7 foot boat had only one engine and a refrigerator in which they store fish. Carrying only one day's worth of food, how did Jose know that the next 438 days were going to be the worst days of his life? Jose went 120 kilometers off the coast of Mexico and set a fishing net in the sea. But at the same time, there was a terrible storm, and to save their lives, they left the fishing net and ran back to the shore. After traveling at a constant speed for 6 hours, at 7 in the morning, they were only 12 kilometers from the coast, and they were seeing their own village. They had left the storm far behind, but now his luck had stopped working. Just 20 kilometers from the coast, their boat's engine broke down. They no longer had paddles or sails to control the boat's direction, but he had a radio with which he sent his location to his boss and waited for his response. But what happened next is every fisherman's nightmare. While waiting for his boss' response, his radio battery died. And now these two fishermen had lost the contact with the outside world. Jose and his partner were still in these thoughts when suddenly something unexpected happened. A strong wind began to push them back out to the sea, and the shore they were looking at gradually receded from them. His boss also found a search party and started looking for him in the Pacific Ocean, but now it was too late. As the days passed, it became difficult for Jose and his companion to survive. It had been 5 days since the accident, and the winds had pushed Jose boats 450 kilometers from the coast. They had reached that part of the sea where only water was visible everywhere. They knew that their boat was too small to be seen from a distance. They did not have a flare gun, nor could they fire a signal from a distance. That is, Jose and his companion knew very well that their chances of survival were now less than 1%. The food and drink they had brought with them was already gone, so they started catching the birds landing on their boat with their hands, or catching fish close to the boat and eating them raw. Drinking sadly seawater can kill a person, so they started drinking rainwater by collecting it and floating plastic bottles in the sea. But when it did not rain for several days, they drank blood of fishes and turtles to quench their thirst. And that's too when they succeeded in catching them. Days passed and then months. It's difficult for us to imagine that the mental agony these two were going through. Finally, Jose Alvarenga's partner could not bear this wildness and committed suicide 4 months later. That is, Jose was now living alone in the deep sea. Friends, if you look at the map, it's estimated that now Jose was in this particular part of the ocean, and it's considered to be the calmest part of the world. Even cargo ships sometimes pass through here. It had been more than 6 months since he had left the shore of Mexico, and during that time, Jose had also lost his partner, which made him quite despondent. One day, Jose sees a cargo ship passing through the ocean. He was seeing the ship for the first time in the last 6 months, and seeing the sight rekindled his hope for survival. Jose made all sorts of signs towards the ship, but unfortunately, the crew did not see the small boat, and soon his hopes of survival were once again dashed. After 11 months, Jose had traveled 8,000 kilometers on his small boat, and his clothes were torn. Finally, the moment came when fate was kind to Jose. In January 2014, after 14 months later, Jose saw coconuts floating in the water and realized that an island was nearby where the coconuts were breaking from the trees and floating in the water. After a while, he saw an island. He was afraid that this island would also be lost from him. So he jumped into the water and swam to the island. It was the first time Jose had set foot on land in 40 months. And when he arrived on this island, he saw a small house with a resident. In the past 384 days, Jose's first contact with another human was on a remote island in the Marshall Islands called Ebon Atoll. And this island is 11,000 kilometers away from the starting point of Jose. It was also Jose's luck that he came close to this island like a small dot in the ocean. Otherwise, if Jose had left this island, his next stop would have been in the Philippines, which is 5,000 kilometers away from this island. From here, Jose was sent home with another tragedy beside him. Upon his return, Jose published a book called 438 Days. But Jose was accused of murdering his partner, the same partner who committed suicide according to Jose.